Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Memories of Margaret, where the life and legacy of Margaret Curle will be shared through stories of her love for Christ and all people. I'm your host, Martha Sue French. I'm also the youngest of 6 children of Howard and Margaret Curle. So as you can see, I've kind of changed it up this episode. I wanted you to have a different background, so I'm in a different place in the house. So I hope you like it, or at least that it's a change of scenery for you. So in today's episode, I will continue to share more of Mama's poetry and how impactful her actions are. Now, today's poem and episode are entitled History Repeats. And again, it's featured in the poetry book, From My Heart to Yours. Now, here's a shameless plug, but the book, From My Heart to Yours, She Still Speaks, and On Speaking Terms with God are all available for $9.99 each on Amazon.com. Just put in Margaret Naomi Curle or those titles, From My Heart to Yours, She Still Speaks, On Speaking Terms with God, and they should come up if you're interested in having a book of your own. If you did not purchase the book when we had Nan's Words open. Now back to the story. Mama was one of the most positive people that I know. I mean, no matter the circumstance, she was always a glass half full type of person. She was creative, she was full of inspiration, and she was just the most supportive person, no matter what your dreams were. Looking back, I don't know how she constantly maintained her positive outlook or how she made things happen that happened. Because as I mentioned previously, several times before, we grew up poor. And honestly, being the youngest, I didn't fully have an understanding of what that meant or the impact of what not having enough, what that did to my parents by not being able to provide for their children. So, as a parent, you want nothing more than to give your children all the things you didn't have. But there are times when you're not able to. But no matter the ask, Mama and Daddy tried to provide all of our wants as well as our needs, but it wasn't always possible. So again, here's the poem, History Repeats. And then afterward, I'll share a couple of stories that kind of goes to this. History repeats. Sometimes I wonder if living is worth the problems a poor person has from his birth. In childhood, he hears, "We're so sorry, honey. We'd buy that for you, but we don't have the money." Frustration is born and continues to grow when every request is answered with no. Then, when he grows up, 6 chances in 8 conspire to make poverty still be his fate. When he makes $1, he needs 3 times 20, for money is scarce and expenses are plenty. If he has a family, and most poor men do, his children, as he did, will often feel blue from hearing the words, "We're so sorry, honey. We'd buy that for you, but just don't have the money." Again, that's History Repeats from the poetry book, From My Heart to Yours. Now, when I read that poem, there are times that I knew they didn't have the money to do things, but it takes me back to 2 stories of my childhood that I'm not really proud of looking back on now. But in my defense, again, I didn't understand the impact of what sacrifices my parents made until I was older. Now, both stories, they'll be very quick, have to do with being in the band. Now, I had 2 awesome band directors. My first band director was Mr. Gene Hoggard. And my second band director was Mr. Ron Bryan. Now, when I was, again, I was the youngest, so it may have been a little easier for my parents, but I know we still struggled because I was the only one left in school. But when I was in junior high, I wanted to be in band. I wanted to play the clarinet. And I think then you had to have, you could make payments on it or whatever, but I wanted to play the clarinet. And later on, I'll share some of the pictures. But Mama and Daddy paid on this clarinet for me to play. And I learned the clarinet. I still remember the notes. I actually still have the clarinet, and I'll show that to you later too. But the fact that they had to pay on something that was so expensive in that time, I looked it up a couple of years ago, and they're still, when you think about back in the 70s, it was expensive because this is a fully wood. No, it's not the plastic. This is a wood, no blade Paris clarinet. But the sacrifice that they made, first of all, was to make the payments on the clarinet. And as you would know, when I was in ninth grade, freshman in high school, I decided I didn't want to play the clarinet anymore. I ended up switching to percussion. And I think one year, even in the concert band, I played the French horn. So basically, this was after I had shifted from Mr. Hoggard to Mr. Bryan. Actually, I was a jack of all trade, a master of none. But wherever there was a need to fill in the band, they would put me in it, and somehow I would make it work. But I no longer played the clarinet. So there, my parents sacrificed all that money. And then I ended up not even playing the clarinet during most of my high school. I played my freshman year, but then sophomore, junior, and senior, I played percussion. Now, the second story is a little more, I guess it's selfish on my part. I don't remember the exact year, but I think it was my junior year in high school. But every year the band had a band banquet, and you would go get dressed up for the band banquet and go, and they would do the presentations of the awards. You would have a dinner, et cetera, et cetera. Well, in our little town, Hodgenville, Kentucky, there was a boutique, and that's what it was called. It was a little boutique. It was called Country Villa. I remember exactly where it was. It was expensive. It was very expensive. Now, why I even walked into it, I couldn't tell you. But I went into Country Villa and I found the perfect outfit for the band banquet. It was a jumpsuit that had a halter top. It was all in one. And the bottom was beige. It was solid color. The top was beige with some colors in it, but then it had a jacket that goes over it. And back then, I'm thinking that was like $60, $70, something I probably wouldn't even pay now for me to wear. But I was telling Mom, oh, I just have to have this particular outfit for the band banquet. I just have to have this particular outfit for the band banquet, that particular outfit for the band banquet. And as it got closer to the band banquet, didn't have that outfit. They couldn't afford it. But I didn't understand that. Like I said, I didn't realize that. Somehow, Mama got me that outfit for the band banquet. I wish I had a picture of me in it. But the point is, she sacrificed because she didn't want history to repeat. She didn't want to say, no, sorry, honey, we don't have the money. I don't know how she did it, but I just know that she did it. She made it happen. And I wore that outfit to the band banquet. And I remember years later coming back to Mama and I said, Mama, why didn't you just tell me no? And she said, you'll understand when you have children. So again, that kind of goes back. That's my tie-in actually to this history repeats, because even though they struggled, they tried so hard to provide for us. And me being the little snit that I was, did not understand the struggle or understand the concept of money at that time. But as I mentioned, I wanted to show you, I still have my clarinet. I treasure this clarinet. Mom and Daddy sacrificed, and this is, I've been out of high school, what, 40, this will be 46 years this year. And I was in junior high when I got this. So here is the clarinet in the original case. I've had it corked twice, and it needs to be corked again. But it's the original clarinet that I had. It needs to be cleaned too. Do I still play? No. But I still have it because it just signifies the sacrifices that my parents went through to provide this for me. I can't just let it go. But again, I don't know if you can see that it's, I said Paris, but it's Paris. It's Noble Paris. That is the brand name of it. And it's all wood. It's all wood. It's not the plastic clarinet. I also remember that the notes on the clarinet and the alto sax are the same. I used to love saxophone too, but as you see, the cork is coming off. Like I said, I had it recorked before. It's hard to find music stores that will know what they're doing to recork this, but I really do need to have this recorked again. But that is my clarinet story. Also, while these are not the ones I had in high school, I still have my drumsticks as well. So I loved playing drums. It was before Sheila E.'s time, but I thought I was, Sheila E., not, I was not even Sue C., but anyway. The lesson that I learned, I say not only from this poem, but from Mama in general, is to be creative, maybe to have solutions, to have that can-do attitude. I wish I could go back and ask her now how she did it, but that outfit from Country Villa, if any of you are from the Hodgenville, Elizabethtown area and remember that store, you know that it was expensive. And I just don't know how she did it, but she did. So let me share you some of those pictures I was telling you about. And then we will be out of here. Okay. This is actually only part of the picture, but I had to enhance it where you could see here I am right here. This is at Camp Crescendo. I don't know if that's still open or not, but it was band camp we went to every summer. And here is me with my trusted clarinet. And here's some of my other classmates. I'm not sure, Andrea Ross, Christy Crady, Susie Leahy, Janet Sawyer, Mitzi Lee, Debbie Dickerson. No, that's Kenneth Doty's, Kenny Slack. I'm trying to see. Her name was Debbie something. I know that's Mark Turner, Sam Hanley. But anyway, here's me in junior high at band camp with my clarinet. Again, I switched over to percussion. I don't know if I was yawning or talking or what, but this is a photo from the yearbook. And we're having a pep rally in the gym. And you can see that my mouth is hanging wide open. But anyway, here's me. I'm showing that, yes, I did play in the band. Yes, I did actually go to something after I left the clarinet. So here I am. It must have been a break because I have my drumsticks up under my arms. Can't play a drum with the drumsticks under your arm. This is also from a yearbook, and this is one of the pictures. It must be at a band performance or a halftime show. But I just know that this is Junior Rainwater, and here I am in our band uniforms, and We were their part of the percussion section. Ooh, this was also from the yearbook. This was from the year we graduated. This is all the seniors. And again, I made it through. Here I am right here, LaRue County Band of Hawks. Actually, I wish I had thought of it. I still have this t-shirt. And on the back of the shirt, it told like what area you played in. So mine, on the back, it says percussion. And I guess on the back of, clarinets, it said woodwinds, or I don't know exactly what it said. I just know on the back of mine, it says percussion. And I have it up in a cedar chest somewhere up in my bedroom. But again, going back to my glory days in band. And again, just wanted to end by showing picture of the people who made it happen. Margaret Curle, Howard Curle. This is them on the front porch of their house out in Roanoke. I really miss them every day. So I'm gonna stop sharing that and just kind of wrap things up now. As far as the poetry, Mama could do so much. As far as the support that she had, she had a village, and we had a village around us. But that is all for today. And thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to Memories of Margaret on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. And don't forget to tune in every other Tuesday at 8 a.m. for more poetry and stories about an incredible woman and her village. Now, in the next episode, we'll have another special guest to share their memories of Margaret. Remember, if you would like to be a guest on a future episode, please leave a message on the Facebook page, Memories of Margaret, or send an email to memoriesofmargaretnaomi@gmail.com. Until next time, make memories with your family. Thank you.